Count Andrenyi, I am acting on behalf of Monsieur Hercule Poirot in this matter. May I speak with you?
I quite understand your position. I will do anything I can to assist you.
May I have your passport, please?
Yes, certainly.
Rudolph Joseph Andrenyi, aged 34. A diplomatic passport.
Yes, I am in the Hungarian consular service.
Wife Elena Maria Andrenyi, aged 20.
Yes, we have only been married a year.
Aged 20, thank you. Are you aware of the identity of the deceased, monsieur?
If you want to know his name, surely it is in his passport.
The name on his passport is Ratchet. That is not his real name. He is in fact Cassetti, who was responsible for the kidnapping and death of a child in America.
Ah, that certainly should throw light upon the matter.
Have you been to America, Monsieur Leconte?
Yes, I was in Washington for a year. Extraordinary country.
Did you know the Armstrong family?
The kidnapped victims?
Yes.
Armstrong. It is difficult to recall. So many diplomatic functions. So many hands to shake. I cannot recall. I'm sorry.
Can you tell me how you spent the evening after dinner last night?
We had my wife's compartment made up while we were at dinner. On returning, we sat up in mine playing piquet. At about 11 o'clock, my wife retired for the night. The attendant made up my compartment, and I also went to bed.
The sudden stop of the train awakened you?
Naturally. I learned from the attendant of the avalanche, then went in to my wife and comforted her.
When did you return to your own compartment?
Well, I didn't, actually. That is to say, I did not like to leave my wife alone after the shock. We passed the remainder of the night together.
Other than the train stopping, did you notice anything unusual?
No, I don't think so. I dropped off to sleep sometime before 2 a.m. and slept through until this morning.
You didn't hear the commotion in the compartment next to yours? The American lady who occupies it had quite an attack of hysterics and rang repeatedly for the attendant.
When was this?
At approximately 1:15.
No, I'm afraid I didn't notice.
Do you smoke, Monsieur Leconte?
The occasional cigar only. They are always offered to me, you understand, but I do not much like them.
Pardon me, Count. I still have one or two matters I would like to discuss.
Then please, do so.
Did you notice the grease spot on your passport? See it just at the beginning of your wife's first name?
These things happen when traveling.
Have you remembered anything about last night that might help us?
Nothing.
Countess, may I ask you some questions regarding the death of Monsieur Ratchet?
I'm not sure what I can do to help, but I'll try.
Have you been to America?
No, mademoiselle. My husband was posted there. Diplomatic duties. But we were not married then.
What is the color of your dressing gown?
Why do you ask me that?
Detectives have to ask all sorts of questions. Forgive me.
It is yellow. Corn-colored chiffon. Are you really a detective, mademoiselle? I was told you worked for the railway.
Well, I'm assisting a detective. That's what I meant.
Is he a Yugoslavian detective?
I think he would tell you he belongs to the world, madame. When did you fall asleep last night?
Soon after 1 o'clock, I believe.
Did you hear or see anything unusual last evening?
After the train stopped?
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
You didn't hear Mrs. Hubbard ringing her bell and calling out at around 1:15?
No, it would be very unlikely if I did. I'm sorry.
Countess, I'm sorry to bother you again, but I wonder if I might have another word with you.
Certainly.
Do you remember when I showed you this handkerchief? Handmade, embroidered in Paris, and of course the letter H. 3 ladies aboard have the letter H in their names. But Madame Hubbard considers such a handkerchief useless. Mademoiselle Debenham's middle name is Hermione, but her handkerchiefs are dainty linen, not expensive. Hildegard Schmidt is a lady's maid, not a lady.
Why are you telling me this?
It leaves only you and Princess Dragomirov, but her first name is Natalia.
It isn't my handkerchief.
There is a wet luggage label on your suitcase.
Oh?
Pulling it back, I found the initials HMK.
Well, that is fascinating, isn't it?
You told me you have never been to America.
I've never been to America.
When you say you've never been to America, You say it with an American accent.
These questions are pointless.
These are observations, Monsieur Leconte, not questions.
You take too much upon yourself, mademoiselle. You are not a detective. You are a clerk in a train office, and your employer will hear her a representative of this railway, treated a diplomat and his wife.
Why was the grease spot added to your passport and the label to your case?
My wife has told you the handkerchief is not hers. There are no H's in her name. Let that be an end to it.
Your name is Helena, isn't it? Not Elena. You are Helena Maria Gilbert, are you not? Sonia Armstrong's sister, Linda Arden's daughter?
I demand, mademoiselle, to know what right you...
No, Rudolph. It is useless to deny what Mademoiselle Marceau says. It is quite true, mademoiselle. I am Helena Gilbert, the youngest sister of Sonia Armstrong.
Why did you hide your true identity?
Surely you can guess the reason. This man who called himself Ratchet murdered my baby niece, killed my sister, and broke my brother-in-law's heart. 3 of the people I loved best and who made up my home, my world. Of all the people on this train, I alone had the strongest motive for killing him.
I give you my word of honor. Helena never left her compartment last night.
Then the handkerchief is yours.
No, it is not. I know I can't hope to make you believe me, but I assure you that is the truth.
When we learned who the man was, and that the handkerchief had been found with the letter H near his body, I pointed out to Helena it would be better to remove any connection to her. A luggage label, a grease spot to cover the alteration. What could be simpler?
I have read quite a bit about crime, Monsieur Leconte. I hope you will take it as a compliment if I say you have the makings of a very fine criminal.
I think I will not take that as a compliment, no.
I confess I know the handkerchief isn't yours.
I don't understand.
Please tell me why you attempted to conceal your identity.
When we learned who the man was, and that the handkerchief had been found with the letter H near his body, I pointed out to Helena it would be better to remove any connection between that man and her. A luggage label, a grease spot to cover the alteration. What could be simpler?
I have read quite a bit about crime, Monsieur Leconte. I hope you will take it as a compliment if I say you have the makings of a very fine criminal.
I think I will not take that as a compliment, no.
Madame la Comtesse, the motive for the murder lies in the past, in the tragedy that broke up your home. Help me. Take me back into the past. Tell me about your sister's household.
What can I tell you? They're all dead! All dead! All dead! Sonia! Robert! Darling, darling Daisy! That curly hair, impossible to comb, that sweet, sweet smile.
Tell me about the nursery maid who committed suicide.
Suzanne. If she was involved, I'm sure it was innocently. Chatting idly with someone, giving the times of Daisy's outings.
What was Suzanne's nationality?
She was French.
What was Suzanne's last name?
I was only a child myself at the time. All we called her was Suzanne.
Was there a nurse?
Yes, a trained hospital nurse. New Daughter was her name.
Did you have a tutor or governess, perhaps?
Yes, she was a dragon. English. Oh, rather Scots. A big red-haired woman.
What was her name?
Miss Freebody, if you can believe it.
How old was she?
She seemed frightfully old to me at the time, but I suppose she couldn't have been more than 40.
I know you were only a child at the time, and that the passage of years changes a person, but have you seen anyone on this train who reminds you of any of those people?
No, mademoiselle. I wish I could think of something to help you. I'm sorry I didn't hear anything last night that might be of use to you. I wonder that you are not yet married, mademoiselle. I wish everyone could experience the love my husband and I share. Now that you know who I am, you will, of course, draw your own conclusions. As much as I might want to see that swine dead, I did not stab him. I know my trying to conceal my identity has not helped you to believe me.
I am sorry we could not be of more assistance to you. I have important state business to conduct in London. This delay is extremely frustrating. I wish you well in your investigations, mademoiselle. The sooner this affair is cleared up, the better. The avalanche will soon be clear, and then this matter will at last be in the hands of the proper authorities. I have nothing more to say to you. This detection of crime has gone to your head, mademoiselle. Your employers will be notified.
Au revoir, Monsieur le Comte. Merci, Monsieur le Comte. That will do for now, Count Andrenyi. Good day, Monsieur le Comte. Good evening, Monsieur le Comte. I have nothing more to say to him. The time for talk has passed. I don't think he's in the mood for conversation. I'd like to take your fingerprints.
Whatever you need to do, I will be happy to cooperate.
Au revoir, Madame la Comtesse. Thank you, Countess. That will do for now, Countess. Good day to you, Madame la Comtesse. Good evening, Madame la Comtesse.
Please, mademoiselle. I need some time to collect myself. Mademoiselle, I implore you to give me a moment's peace. I will talk to you later. I promise.
May I take your fingerprints?
Yes.
HMK. No need to look under there again.